So last week, you had all explored the the tomb of the frost giant queen, having found her sarcophagus as well as her frozen in a block of ice. Um, you also found a giant-sized axe that turned out to be magic after Winzira identified it as a berserker axe. You decided to leave it alone for once and did not take it. And then moving down, you started to explore the main ice rink room and the various offshoots from it, and found doors that led to um, chambers, four of them. One of which you guys explored and saw that it said above it isolation. And when you opened it and stepped through, it turned to be a portal. And you found yourself in a Red Guard camp up on the glacier, um, and agreed to watch the camp for them as they went on a raid. And after they left, being isolated and alone, you begin to hear eldritch whispers and horrible things being spoken into your ears. And every hour you had to endure that, um, it began to wear on your psyche, and some of you started to snap a little bit and go a little bit mad. Most affected by that was Filbert, who suddenly believed his entire party was out to kill him. Very Overwatch, The Shining, if you will, and decided he would take you all out first before you had a chance to do him in. And he attacked. Um, and you guys got to know what it's like to be on the other end of that steady shot and magical bow. Um, and but you were able to snap him out of it, um, and bring him back to his senses. And that's kind of where we left off as he came out of his murderous rage. He wasn't very sorry about it. I gotta admit, he was pretty unrepentative.
It happens.
So that is where we will pick up.
I was also way, way far away from everybody.
Right, that's right. And then when Zira decided to hightail it out, and as she got further and further and further away, things began to get a little bit weird for Winzira. Winzira, as you guys you're moving on, um, it almost seems like a whiteout starts to form and become around you. And as you go to turn back and kind of take note of your surroundings, you don't see now any kind of trees or anything. You're just in this kind of white, formless piece where even the snow underneath your feet doesn't seem to crunch like it used to. You can't see anything but white in any one direction. And very quickly, you are completely disorientated. Um, and now you're kind of trapped in this kind of white limbo as you're walking around trying to find your way.
You know, I'm honestly okay with this at the moment. Um, I would like to start casting Liamon's tiny hut,
Okay.
as I have no idea where I am, which means Filbert and his death bow has no idea where I am, and I'm okay
I'm gonna
now.
find you.
That's 11 minutes, right, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. So you set about casting the ritual. You play your little good night song, at which the end of which the hut snaps into place, and you find yourself now warm, and feeling relatively safe in your tiny hut. What's the outside of it look like at this point?
It's gonna be white, like the exterior. Everything is white,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna chill here for now.
No pun intended. All right. Back at the camp, you guys look around and you realize that Winzira is nowhere to be found. She's seemingly just vanished.
Silver, she's gone and done it. Not only did you attack us, I know it was in a moment of spiritual weakness, but now you've chased off Winzira.
Spiritual weakness.
Well, what else would you call it?
I don't know. But she may have ran off that way because I didn't see her come back through the camp.
This is
Or
a
was I-
magical area. We should not be separated like this. What if something were to befall her?
I can try to find her.
Well, we also said, though, that we would guard this camp.
Well,
I'm not sure if we fail if we leave this camp. Perhaps you can take Kaz with you, but I think I should stay here.
If we run into anything out there, I might not make it back.
Why won't you make it back?
I'm not feeling so good right now.
Oh. Okay. Give me a moment. Oh no, it's doing the thing. Why is it doing that? Okay.
I would also like to take a short rest while I'm out and all alone in my bliss.
Okay.
Okay.
Rebecca,
so,
can you bump your mic up a little bit? You're like half the volume as everybody else.
So I am going to pray and give Kaz some blessings from Lysander. Level 2.
Thank you.
Wow, that sucked.
How do I sign now?
Better.
Definitely better than you were before. Thank you.
You're at 14. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know. More than I would do with 5.
So I'm a little confused because on your dice,
Yeah, I'm confused too.
It was doing that last week.
Yeah,
Time we played too.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm like, how did I get 9 when I cast it up?
it's not
You
9.
got 12.
You got 12.
Oh, because of the 3. I forget. I
Oh.
always forget. Yeah. 'Cause
So what level did you cast it at?
2. So it's the 9 plus the 3. So it's 12.
So why did it roll 8? Why did it roll 4 dice?
Because it's
I
roll
think
20.
that's just the roll 20.
Well, it makes it impossible for me to tell. Are they 2 3s and,
know.
and 2 5s? I can't see the 1.
Yeah, it's like 2 5s, a 3, and a 1.
So which does, why did, that makes no freaking sense.
In the chat, it shows. Again, it's.
Yeah, it shows
for
that
some
it's
reason-
a 1.
Rolled a 5 and a 3, and then plus her wisdom.
So it should be a 5 and a 3. So that's 9. plus,
What was it,
shouldn't the 3 get
eight?
the wisdom too?
No, just the base.
Which is 4.
Only the first die gets the wisdom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then that explains it. Thanks, David.
Now I have
You're welcome.
I haven't. I'm rusty with some of those mechanics. Cool. No, that's right. So you get 12.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking you cast it at 4th level.
Oh no. Why would I
All those dice.
I only have one 4th level spell. That would be a lot.
All right. Well, I guess we can go take a look.
I'm going to wait here. Because, again, we gave our vow to guard the place. If at least one of us isn't here, then I suppose we would have failed our vow.
The fire still burns. It does need some tending. Snow has been falling pretty regularly.
I'll turn to
The 2
fire.
hours that you've been there.
Do you think you can find her tracks?
Come on, bro. I can find her tracks like Thea finds a reason to yap on about Lathander.
I'm sorry, you mean bring the good gospel of the Lord that
Yep.
has blessed you?
I can find her good tracks like you find stuff.
Give a survival check. Robert.
16.
While you can find tracks, kind of overlapping and whatnot, and what you think are probably goblin-sized boots, when you get to the edge of the camp, where the snow has kind of been blowing further and longer, you lose the track. You lose the trail in the snow. As they're, being a goblin, she doesn't leave very deep footprints. And with the snow and the wind within 5 or 10 feet outside the edge of the camp, you lose the trail.
Good news is I found the tracks. Bad news is I can't find Winzira.
Well, that's not
She's
good.
her little foots are too tiny. And the wind's been blowing the snow over everything.
Well, I guess I'll take a look around. I don't know how good that'll do, but would that be a survival check would make?
Yep.
Or perception or
Survival.
survival? Yeah, no, I don't see shit.
You find a lot of snow.
There's a lot of snow over here.
We have her.
Well, that's good. At least you found the snow.
Yeah.
So you're learning.
We will tear the flesh from her bones.
Well, if I can't find her, I don't know what to do.
We will have you. You will join us.
Cutting out.
So, as you're looking, the voices and the whispers and the horrible promises keep hearing them, but just out of earshot. consistently wearing and grating at you.
Should we keep looking?
Well, yeah, I don't want to lose her.
Well, let's try to move a little further and see if we can.
She's
pick
like
up
the
her
leader of the group. We can't lose the leader.
Well, let's move a little further out and see if we can pick up the tracks then.
I'm tending the fire, by the way, Mickey.
Okay. Seems
You need
appropriate.
me to make a survival or something, or no?
Nah, no.
Okay.
You live in a world that has no electricity or other sources of heat. I think you know well how to keep a fire going.
Yeah, I just didn't know if like the magic was fighting against me or something.
No, there doesn't seem,
Alright.
other than this strange glowing snowflake that's above each of your heads and the spooky eldritch whispers that you hear constantly. Nah, just a normal day. As you guys get outside further from the camp, are you guys staying within sight of the camp? I mean, you both have pretty good, dark vision.
I would try to not go to where I can't really see the camp.
Yeah, and the fact that the fire is blazing. Go ahead and give a survival again, and see if maybe you pick up something.
And if I'm with, let's say this time I'm assisting
Sure.
Filbert.
Okay. Well, yeah, just look for the snow, and then I'll look for the tracks in the snow.
Okay.
See? Look how much he helped.
I can see snow.
He
a lot
helped
further.
you literally just enough. While you don't find necessarily a trail that you're looking for, Filbert, you do find in an area where there was a kind of a felled tree that had made kind of a natural snowbank kind of rise. And on the leeward side of that, you do find, you see marks where it looks as if something had disturbed the snow on the back of this, and being sheltered from the the blow, it still is disturbed. And in that area, you do make out 2 or 3 footprints that are of the right size, and that you would believe to be made by Windzera. And again, heading away out from the camp. But as soon as you get past that little sheltered kind of windbreak, they disappear again, and the snow is completely smooth on the other side, where the wind is kind of been just pushing the snow around. You can see that any tracks within minutes would be erased. In fact, even as you look backwards to your own, you can see them already filling in.
Windzera. Sorry. Things happened. I'm better now. Want to make sure you're safe.
I'll be calling out too. Filbert's not trying to kill us anymore.
Your voices are somewhat carry, but you can feel the wind kind of taking a lot of your projection away. But your calls go out into the night, and you wait a few minutes, but you don't hear any response.
You have meat. Juicy, rancid meat.
You may not have slain her outright, but you've killed her nonetheless.
Your pleas don't seem to be. There's no response to them.
You tell it all which way she's gone.
Away from the camp. Winzira. It's not safe out here. We might get left behind if you're not with us and our job is done.
I feel as though if we push on further, I would lose the camp.
Yeah, you're at the extent now. You've gone out as far as you can, and you're barely seeing the flicker of the bonfire. You're at it, kind of the farthest of your abilities to see it.
Afraid if we push further, we might not make it back to the camp ourselves.
Do you want to stay within eyesight of the camp and I can go a little bit further?
Sure. I can stay right here.
Because you should be able to see me at a good distance, right?
Yeah. I'll yell out when you're starting to get to the end of my sight.
All right. I'm going to try to just look around the area. I don't want to get too far away from Kaz. I kind of want to keep him within my sight as well.
Sure. And yours is, and you have what, 90?
Do like a 60-foot radius from him, going outward away from the camp, and then see if I can notice anything else.
You begin to proceed outward. Give me a survival check.
Womp womp. 11.
You're not 100% sure if what you're seeing are tracks or whatnot, but there seems to be a certain kind of semi-regular indentations in the snow, not tracks, because that's clearly any imprint is filled in now with blowing snow, but it still seems like every now and again it's left a little bit of a little dip that seems to be a little too regular to be just naturally occurring.
Gotcha.
It seems to be going off in slightly the same, but maybe a little bit of a different angle than what you had started off with. As if that she didn't quite keep a straight line as she was fleeing. As you start to go, probably around 45, 50 feet or so away from Kaz, you begin to get a sense that the outlying things out of the corner of your eye, the trees, seem to be kind of being lost almost like in a fog. And on both sides, and as you take a couple more steps, that fog seems to be getting in closer and closer. You stop and you look around, Filbert, and you now realize that although you've been trying, you know exactly where he should have been, that fog-ish, that kind of white glow, it's almost like a headlight in the fog. You know how it gets dispersed? You're almost seeing the sense of kind of light with your dark vision. And the wind has begun to die down. And you realize now that you can no longer see Kaz. The trees themselves are kind of gone, and now you find yourself in this kind of just white, dark thing with with the darkness all around you and the white of the ground. And you realize too that you're as you're taking steps down the snow, you're not hearing the crunch of snow beneath your feet, and everything seems to be oddly silent.
Do I still see him?
You do not. You were watching him closely, and as he seemed to take another step, suddenly he just seemed to kind of fade away to your eyes, Cass.
Oh, it's not good. I mean, I would immediately as he disappeared, I would have yelled out for him. Don't believe he's gonna hear me, but I'd start yelling for him as loud as I can.
You yell out, but Silver does not respond, does not seem to give you any kind of answer.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for him. I was like, I don't know. I decided to roll an intelligence check just to see what I would.
Then there was only one.
I try to go to the exact place where I saw him disappear.
Okay.
fate of the day.
I'd always hate you.
Yep. I would have rolled high. I would have come to the conclusion that was some sort of magical barrier that he passed through.
Maybe.
Well, considering the good of eyesight that I have. But I did not come to that conclusion. I'm thinking something might have happened to him.
I need some olive oil and balsamic.
It tasted really good before. Just full. There's nothing wrong with the taste.
Okay, so you're gonna continue outward towards where he was walking.
And I'm gonna try to go to the exact spot I saw him disappear.
And as you get to that spot, and it's been only a minute or two, so you can actually follow his prints in the snow up to the point. You see them kind of go. They're starting to fill in, but since you were watching that exact spot and you know what you're looking for, you see them kind of just stop, and beyond which you can't see any further prints in the snow at all.
I'm gonna yell out again as loud as I can.
You wait a minute, maybe two, but no response.
Oh yeah. Wilbur, where are you? I rolled low again, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Similar to what happened to Filbert, as you're plowing through, the sound of the wind begins to diminish. The trees and that aren't plentiful. You're not in a forested area, but you can still see there are trees here and there, even on the glacier. They now begin to kind of fade away and into this kind of like foggy kind of, almost as if they're kind of wavering away. And you find yourself in a kind of a whited area where the snow underneath your feet no longer crunches.
If I yell out, do I hear myself?
Yes, you can hear yourself, but now there seems to be no other sounds other than the sounds that you make.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep wandering around, see if I could find anything.
Okay. You wander around for a good 10-15 minutes, and nothing ever changes. In fact, you're not even sure if you're actually making any distance or if you're just actually walking in place. Everything looks the same. There's no sounds, there's no nothing. You're just basically in the construct from the Matrix. And you have no points of any kind of reference whatsoever. So back at camp, Verlaine has been helping you when to build up the fire. You've noticed that she's looking around rather anxiously in the direction that they went. And I think that was rather foolish of the boys, don't you?
Yeah. I certainly do.
At your suggestion.
You don't seem
There was
surprised.
no stopping Filbert. I don't know that you guys have been separated. Yeah, well, keep your peanut gallery to your gallery, sir.
Keep your peanuts in your gallery.
Anyway. Yes, but there would have been no stopping Filbert. He does have that shine towards Winzira. I think it's both because they're both small. Not to mean that they're not both wonderful friends and valuable, but they seem to have a certain shine to each other than any of the others in the group. But
You're the one that goes around smacking Kaz's ass all the
you're
time.
not here.
Yeah, you still hear me though.
Nobody's smacking Kaz's ass.
Well, it's imperative that we pass these trials and gain access to the book.
Yes,
is all
but
that
what is
matters.
this trial? Is it meant to drive us apart one by one? I don't understand how standing here in a campsite is meant to be a trial.
Well, it did drive the halfling mad enough to attack us. And I do believe the Goliath as well was ready to attack.
Well, why didn't we pass it then when we overcame it?
Perhaps we must be here until the tribe returns. I do not know. I do
If
not know the
so-
mind of an evil, mad goddess. For which
Well-
I am grateful.
Indeed. Well, I suppose all I can do is tend to this site and keep praying for our companion's safe return. I certainly didn't expect that at the beginning of this journey I'd be tending a campsite bereft of my companions along with a necromancer, but here we are, and does not the Lord work in mysterious ways?
Yeah, you would know better than I. She settles down kind of close to the fire at this point and takes out her spell book. Begins to read it, and she also brings out the Professor Orb, and you can hear her kind of every now and again speaking to her, speaking to the orb. And you overhear little sniblets of it when the wind isn't blowing, when it lulls a little bit. And it sounds like they're discussing things about the Netherese. And she's reviewing her notes and getting more information out of the orb about the city and about their culture in general. So that's how she uses her time. But the whole time you're there and you're waiting longer, the whispers in your ear are constant and putting doubts and fears into your mind. So as you wait another hour and they do not return, go ahead and give me one more wisdom saving throw, if you will.
Okay. 27.
Damn. All right.
I think that was a nat 20. Yep.
Yep.
It was. That's why it was green.
Whenever it's green, it's
Yeah. I'm praying.
Yeah, so you
my strength.
You are. You stay strong. Your faith helps you to shake off the doubts. You see them as some kind of theological test, and your prayers to your God and your faith keep you strong, and you fight those doubts off. However, Boulain, you look over her and you can see that she's now no longer talking to the orb like she was at first, but now is kind of muttering to herself, and her head kind of is darting around to and
Oh dear.
fro. She doesn't seem to be unhinged. And let's see what happens to her here. How many D's in madness? Just
One.
That's my
One
problem.
and
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Let me just store this little nugget. All right.
I'm also gonna spend some time. So I'm going to ritual cast. The first time ever cast a ritual spell. Silence around myself.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you did that as the hours and it's starting to get to you. You cast silence around yourself.
Yeah.
And the
just so that
sounds
way
of
I
the
can-
wind, all that. However, now there's no other sound whatsoever. There's no wind. It's perfectly quiet, very strange and eerie. However, those whispers still can be heard. It's as if they're coming directly into your head.
Boo!
However, as you're only a few minutes go by of that, maybe after your science is up, and the you don't hear it, but you see Villain react, and as she looks off behind you, and stands up. And as you turn your head, you see the warriors of the Elk Clan returning. You see them, many of them covered with blood. Some of them are kind of bandaged up a little bit, but for the very most part, they all seem to be very hale and healthy and in great spirits. You can't hear anything that they're saying, but you see they're all animated and talking to each other. And you see the chiefess come up with her giant saber-tooth cat loping at her side. The thing is the size of a pony, by the way. The thing is huge. And it comes loping into the camp. And as it enters the area of where your spell is around you, the cat stops and looks around and hastily backs up. You see the lips of the chiefess moving. She's speaking to you, but you can't
Just
hear
drop it.
any of the words. And as you drop it, you catch the last thing she said. And with it must have been from the Frostmaiden's blessings that the victory was so decisive, so successful, so simple. I thank you for your participation and bringing her blessing with you. And as she says that, you see everything starts to go smoky all around you, and it almost starts to fill with light. Meanwhile, Winzira, you get the benefit of a short rest, as you were safely enscrolled and spent an hour within your dome. Probably one of the most boring hours you've spent in this campaign.
I'll take it.
Kaz, you have been walking around and yelling until your voice is now hoarse. But with the indomitable Kaz determination, you probably never stopped walking in that entire hour. And Filbert, I'd imagine at some point you just kind of sat down in the snow, sat down cross-legged and put your I see him, doing the thinker pose. But at that same moment, you all start to see your area starting to fill up with more and more light, till you guys are all within a, everything is completely white. And as the light starts to diminish and dim, you find yourself back into the chamber. As those large ice doors slowly closing underneath the arch that says endurance, and closes shut.
Good job, everybody.
Well, I mean, honestly, we could have just all stayed at the camp.
We could have, but I accidentally chased off Winzira. Sorry.
I don't
Zero, where did
even-
you go?
I don't even acknowledge any of you.
You guys find yourself back into that room. The zombie of your former companion, or at least traveling. I don't even know the word.
Party member?
Party member, thank you.
DPS machine?
I go over to the zombie and I kick it. It's all your fault.
It usually is the undead's fault. Well, I suppose we passed the first trial. That certainly was a little different than I was thinking. So, I suppose we need to go on to another one. Perhaps we should rest first, though.
I need to take a break.
I can't move myself.
Well, I would remind you all that our one and only way off of this island We'll be leaving after 24 hours. And we've already
Well-
slept through a night once. We can't afford to do it again.
I'm not saying to sleep a whole night. I'm saying I need a breather and a rest.
I just wanted to remind you that certainly I am not in charge of your expedition.
Yeah, it took me like an hour to bandage up this gaping wound in my back.
You did a good job. Looks like it's healing.
So what are you guys gonna do?
I am going to bandage myself up.
You know, I'm not in terrible shape. Oh.
I'm fine.
I am in horrible shape still.
I'm good now.
You need 20. I roll 20.
Ooh, not your best rolls. And somehow Filbert only barely got a scratch.
I went through the temp HP.
38. One more.
Name. Nice.
Finally. There we go. It's not so bad. No, not feeling so bad anymore.
So just make sure you mark off how many hit dice you used.
Yeah, I had to use my remaining hit dice.
Okay. So at your next long rest, since you don't have any more hit dice, you'll get half your hit points back and then half your hit dice back.
Mhm.
So, what trial should we do next?
No, I can't move, Mickey.
Why not?
I am
You're
one
stuck in
with
a wall.
the shadow. Thank you. Let's see. So it wasn't there, it was here, right?
There. Yep. There. There.
Let's try this one. We could go counterclockwise.
I mean, do we all have to go through it?
I believe that's what my friend said.
Well, it stands to reason that, just from probability standpoint, that the more of us who try, the higher the likelihood that somebody will succeed.
Yeah, but I'd rather be alive. But, I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to either. So let's just get this over with.
I agree.
So those doors can be pushed open in front of you. And you do so, I'm thinking.
Yep.
You find a very similar setup to the go ahead and everyone, as you guys enter into this room, give me just a straight intelligence check. Just click on the word intelligence, not a saving throw, just a straight intelligence check.
Really good at those.
Mhm. Me too.
Yep.
I rolled in that one.
Cheers got the highest out of all of us.
Wow.
A
Really,
failure on my half.
we have such
Wow.
amazingly brilliant group.
Everyone's a +1 except me.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to die we go. We rolled some ones and did some stuff. Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho.
Nope.
So far,
I
we're
just
in
wanted to.
the
No.
check.
It's no big deal.
All-
Don't lose your head.
I think it's hilarious.
Not
that the
yet. We wouldn't want that to happen.
goblins-
so
I feel like fucking Willy Wonka right now, man.
Rolled over 10 once.
You guys enter in, and again, this room is identical to the other, with a slight, you see no difference whatsoever. Filbert, you get a sense just because of your natural cartography skills. You know that the orientation is slightly different. You're facing in a slightly different direction than the other room, but other than that, you don't see any difference whatsoever in this chamber, except that above the doors that this room ends in, you see the word endurance. Oh, I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Yeah, endurance. I read it right.
Yeah, the last one was isolation. I
Yeah.
thought.
Yep. Little mental old man hiccup. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, should we push through?
Well, there's no other way to do it than to do it.
Open the door and walk through.
Him and Hall, we have to do these.
How many of them were there? 4?
There's 4.
All right. As you pull the doors open, the mists inside begin to swirl, and the light begins to brighten until you see just a white, glowing nothingness on the other side of the doorway.
All right, so shall we go?
Yeah.
All right. You begin to
After you.
step.
Leroy Jenkins.
You begin to step through. Your surroundings vanish in a flurry of snow and ice. When your vision clears, you find yourself in a raging snowstorm, standing on the edge of the Ragged Tribe's camp in the process of being dismantled. The nomads work feverishly to tear down their tents and pack them into dog sleds. A few of them spot you and brandish their weapons. However, a tall figure standing among them calls out, "We shall not lie down and die for your pleasure, emissaries of Aril. Begone, vultures!"
We are not emissaries of that woman.
He
That
looks at you as you say that,
goddess.
cocks his head to the side, and has this look of, "Really?" And just points to above your head, where there's this glowing snowflake above each of your heads right now.
I annoyingly swipe at it. I'm like, I don't have anything to do with that. And then I brandish my symbol of Lysander.
Your hand passes right through the thing on your head, as if it's kind of ethereal or whatnot. But as it does, even to you with the blessings of the goddess who you besmirch all the time, you feel cold for a moment, and you're not used to it. It only happens briefly as your hand is passing through, but you feel a bone-chilling cold that actually takes your breath away. Think about when you go into the ocean and it's particularly cold, and it seizes up. You all see as she does this, her breath catch.
Oh, I guess it's cold. I mean, snowflakes are cold, aren't they? I mean, at least it's pretty. Even though, how did it get there?
I think it's something to do with these trials. It just kind of appears, I believe.
I don't have time for this nonsense. We must be on our way. The herd is moving. We must follow.
Ooh, what you doing?
One of the other younger nomads looks down at you, Winzira, and says, "We follow the herds. They move. They migrate. We must hunt them. For us, there's nothing else for us to do to survive. It is imperative that we follow, and they've begun to move quickly, so we chase after." And as that's going on, there's shouts and whatnot as things are being lashed to dog sleds, and it's just a flurry of activity. You can see that some of the younger warriors are strapping on packs and already moving out away from the camp. Good. The scouts are moving forward. Yes. Make sure that they have threes so they can relay back to us the positions. We should be with them shortly. Now go. I don't have
feel like
time
we're
for you.
Great friends. And I try to give him a hug.
Which one, the chief or the younger?
The chief.
You see the chief at first doesn't even realize that you're kind of grabbing onto him. You're so small. But as he does, notice he kind of looks down at you with this look of just first outrage and then disgust, and he goes to go grab at you, but his gaze falls upon that snowflake above your head, and you can see him kind of a hitch in his movement, and the really aggressive reach down that he had at first kind of slows dramatically, and he just kind of puts his hand on your back of your jacket and kind of hoists you up a little bit and sets you down, and begins to move off barking more orders. But he doesn't say
Hey.
anything.
Hey, wait, but friend, what are you doing? Can I join?
You can come. If you don't get in the way, I have no problem. Emissary. If you would like to help, be useful, more so the better.
Oh, what do you need done?
Stay out of the way. If you're asked to carry something, carry it. If you fall behind, no one will stop to help you.
Okay. I just start following him.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna do that.
Follow suit, I suppose.
Thea, roll an Arcana check for me, will you please?
Okie dokie. One of my best skills. 13.
While it's not as if you feel cut off from Lathander, his presence feels very dampened to you. And Verlaine begins to look around. She starts to mutter the words of a cantrip. And nothing happens. And she does it again. Slowly articulating and working the gestures that she knows by route and never even thinks about anymore. And nothing happens. My magic. It's being disrupted. Priestess, can you feel your god?
He's definitely distant.
Call upon him to do something simple.
I will recast my life spell.
Okay. As you go to cast it, it doesn't work. So your light is now completely diminished. But the camp, there are torches and lanterns on all of the dog sleds. Many of the warriors carry windproof lanterns. So there is plenty of light around. But magic does not seem to be working in this snowstorm.
Wonderful.
Imagine that.
Lovely. I'll tell Kaz that. I don't know if your big giant man things qualify as magic. Just so you know, I can't speak to
Phrasing.
Come, men. We shall set out now. Show us that you are to the test that the Frostmaiden has put to you. Show her that you are stronger than her emissaries. Clearly, meant to show you up. Now come, we go. Quickly. See if you can keep up, emissaries. And with that, they begin to move off at a pretty good pace.
I will bring up the rear. And I've got awesome dark vision and
Okay. So I mean, as you guys are moving out, you can clearly see that the nomads really know what they're doing. They chose their campsite for not just any old reason. The natural layout of it, even though a blizzard is raging, it must have been giving some kind of protection from the elements and the full burst of it. Because very quickly, as you move away from the camp, you are just engulfed in a full on blizzard. Um, Snow is blowing at you. It's seemingly from every direction all at once. The winds are buffeting against you. Um, and you have to keep your heads down and work very hard um, to make any headway at all, much less to stay at the pace that these nomads are pushing. So, does anybody want to do anything while they're? I mean, to tell me about how your guys are moving, or you're just kind of fill in the blanks at this point. Tell me what you want to do, and then I'll.
Well, I'm gonna. I say the little ones should be either up front or whatnot. So that way, I'm gonna take up the rear. So that way, if anybody starts falling behind, like I can help them or assist them with.
I would probably be the
Keeping them
closest to behind the caravan, just because I don't have a light spell anymore, so I can't fucking see.
I'm gonna try to have my minion block the wind and the snow for me as I'm walking.
The minion
The zombie
did not teleport with you. Once again, he was left behind in the room.
Then we'll use Thea to block the wind and the rain as my new minion.
Good idea.
But I don't tell her that she's my new minion because she doesn't like that.
There's your shield out.
Yeah.
Filbert, you're unusually quiet.
I will just be keeping up with the group a little bit more towards the front.
Sure. With your magic boots.
And my move dash capability.
Let me just double check. Where's my cursor? Just double check one thing. Filbert, as you kind of go up, you're used to kind of being super sure-footed and not really paying any attention to where you're placing your feet, looking for ice or anything. And as you kind of half jog to get up into position, it's just you note that your foot just slipped out a little bit. Not enough to make you fall, but for the first time in a long time, you actually kind of slipped a little bit on a piece of ice. All right.
Talk.
So you setting out, the nomads set a very grueling pace. The dog sleds are driving on, and the warriors behind and around them are marching at a stiff jog. You all have to work quite hard to keep up with them, and they don't seem to have show any kind of signs of taking a rest or a break. Occasionally, you see some of those younger, what must be scouts, running back towards the front and to their chieftain, calling out to him. You can't quite make out what they say, but each time that he does, the chief kind of makes some hand gestures and signs, and your direction shifts slightly, so that you are clearly trying to stay on track with a shifting herd that is on the move. After the first hour or so, I need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw.
21.
They're rolling like
Yes. 6.
got a fucking +7. I still only got 13.
Why don't you just roll physical dice?
Be part of this 17.
Ah, Filbert. So, Filbert, you're struggling a little bit. Perhaps it was the mental agony, your new little bit of madness. Perhaps it's that your boots don't seem to be giving you the same type of traction that you're used to with them, and you're having to work a little bit harder. But after an hour, you develop, you're feeling pretty tired and pretty winded. And mechanically, you
Okay.
gain a level of exhaustion.
Cool.
They continue, however, to keep running on. Some of them, they are looking maybe slightly tired, some of the younger, some of the older, but they kind of see you looking around, and there are looks at you, an occasional grunt, and they seem to be screwing on a game face, their war face, and just putting their head down and picking up and keeping on. Anybody want to do anything, or are you going to keep moving as is?
Hey, Filbert, do you need Kaz to carry you? You look pretty tired.
Fine.
Stop
you say
moving so
I'm
much, Thea.
Did you say I'm fine or fine?
I'm fine.
Okay. You know what, Winzira? Maybe we could all use a rousing song to inspire us.
I don't feel like it.
Okay. I could always sing one of the hymns. I've
Please
got my
don't.
book here. Endless thunder lays his path before you.
Mercifully, the wind is blowing so hard that she can't keep up the bellowing shout necessary to overcome the wind in song and keep up the pace. So it just kind of, you're getting little splurts of her voice, which doesn't sound terrible because you can't hear the words. It's just you're catching little snippets of melody, like disjointed, like a radio station that is going in and out as you're at the edge of its range. So you continue on, and you see after 2 hours, some of them are actually indeed lagging back a little bit. One younger, very young, and one older begin to flail back, and they just are moving too slower and slower, and some of the other warriors look back and make a move to try to go help them, and the chieftain looks at them and says, "Leave them! If they cannot keep up, they shall be left behind. They will not slow us down. Now onward. I mean, that you all feeling it. You're feeling it. So I need after a second hour another Constitution saving throw, please.
Wow.
Wow. I rolled a 9.
You rolled
A 2.
2. You rolled a 3.
It's like one of my
The
best
little
stats.
wizard has absolutely no problem. she's looping along. We do Pilates
Hold on, I'm gonna reroll
at
that.
the.
No. That's.
There you go.
There we go. 26.
All right, so that's 2 of your luckies are gone now. Because you definitely used one last week.
Maybe I forgot to mark it off. I
Sounds
thought I
about
used
right,
an
actually.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used an
I used an inspiration.
Okay.
I don't have any. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an inspiration.
That's right. We're allowing inspirations to carry over. Okay. Very good. Never mind. Sorry about that. I misremembered.
It's okay.
All right. So, Filbert, you actually get a little bit of a second wind.
Oh, yeah.
You start to stop relying on your boots to correct any kind of footing, and you start to pay attention more where you're placing your feet. And you are much more secure in your run, and you do not gain any further bouts. No more exhaustion other than the first that you already have. Winzira, however, that wind is starting to really get to you, and you're starting to get tired, and you get a level of exhaustion. And Kaz, you're just not used to running like this, man. You're built for short distances, not long. Powerful sprinters, Goliaths are, but you're wasted in a long race. So you also gain a level of exhaustion.
I blame Thea for moving around too much.
All that singing.
Yeah, I told her not to move.
That means now I get disadvantage on Constitution.
No, ability checks.
Ability.
It's ability check.
Not saving throws, ability checks.
The exhaustion level thingy is right underneath the death saving throws.
Yeah, I put it up. I just mixed it up in my head. Between ability checks and saving throws.
That's level 3.
All right, so moving again, still at breakneck pace. About half an hour further into it now, one of the scouts comes back and has a bit of a longer. You can see there's a longer exchange between him and the chieftain, and the chieftain kind of makes a series of hand motions, and the entire column begins to turn and angles to the left. And you start to begin an uphill kind of track, going up further into this kind of rocky mountainous region, still completely tundrad, but there's now an incline as you kind of going up this side bank. And you see the warriors kind of screw on determination. And you hear one of them say to the other, the last bit. Why is the last bit always the hardest? And save your breath, Ian. Save it for the hike. And you carry on and you push on. For almost another hour. In which case, I need everyone to roll another saving throw.
21.
Wow.
Nine.
All right, so Winzira, Kaz, and Filbert, that incline and your already tired nature begins to tell, and you cannot keep the pace. The group starts to move further and further and further away from you. The last of the warriors of the tribe kind of give you a quick look over their shoulder, a shrug. Some of them kind of chuckle, and they continue to bound ahead as minute upon minute that distance between you and the group begins to grow. Verlaine and Thea keeping pace. Verlaine doesn't even seem to notice, and she's just got her head down, and she is doing what she needs to do to stay at pace. But Thea, you do notice that as you look around, you're working hard to keep up, and it's taking you a lot of effort. And it does take you a couple minutes to notice that they are falling behind.
And how big is Winzira compared to me again?
I'm 3 foot
She like the
2,
size
45
of like a
pounds.
child.
She's 3'2", 3'2", what, 45 pounds?
45 pounds.
Yeah. All right. Can I just fucking pick you up, Winzira?
I don't know, can you?
I think so.
Can't believe I haven't rolled over a 10 at all yet. I haven't even gotten a 10 or
All right.
all night.
So here's the deal. I've got rope, right? Winzira is no bigger than a child. I'm gonna put her on my back, piggyback style, then take the rope and tie her around my waist like a baby backpack. What would you like me to do to make that happen?
All right, so you stop running and you go back to her. Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Verlaine continues on with the group. As you pull out your rope, it takes you several minutes in order to do that. What is the rest of you guys doing? As you guys begin to catch up, you see Thea running backwards now, away from the direction that everyone's running back towards you. She gets to you. What do you do?
Winzira, get on my back. I'm gonna carry you. This is too hard.
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I'm just gonna keep running.
I have a trick that was taught me in the village. I can rope you to myself, and it makes you not that much harder than carrying my own weight.
Yeah, okay. As long as I don't have to keep running. These short legs don't do much.
I'm just gonna keep going, trying to catch up the best I can.
Me too.
Filbert, you and Kaz go run past Thea, trying to get Winzira up onto her back. You keep pushing on as hard as you can, and you're seeing the distance increase with every stride that you make. It seems like they're making two, and and they just continue to pull away and push ahead, minute on minute. Thea, you said you're tying her to your back?
Yeah, like rucksack rope style.
Sure. Takes you a few minutes to get the rope out and get her kind of the knots tied and get her up there. But 3 or 4 minutes and you're able to do so. At which point already you are now in total darkness. All the light has left you, and you can't see where anyone has gone.
Well, I do happen to have a flint and a torch. I will light it and hand it to Winzira, who can now hold the torch.
All right, in the middle of a blizzard, roll survival to see if you can get the torch to light and stay lit.
Okay. Unless you have a lantern, Winzira.
I have a candle. I don't even know what's in this pack. Hold up. Let me see what's in this pack.
Survival. 16.
Hey, Winzira, what is your the weight of all your equipment?
How can I tell?
Look on your character sheet under your list of equipment there. There should be a weight. Total weight. The very bottom. I can just look.
58.2.
58.2. 98.2. 103.2.
Though I don't think I have this leather armor in my pack anymore.
Yeah, it's probably on the sled. If you're not wearing it.
Yeah.
So with her on your back, all right, so take off. What's the leather armor weigh?
10 pounds. So it'd be 48.2.
So that puts you at 298 pounds that you're carrying, Thea, which is over your carrying capacity, which also then will reduce your speed half. So you guys try as best you guys can to keep pace, to try to make your way back. It takes... You're not even sure at this point if you're going in the right direction, Thea, because they're out of your space. But you run on for another 30 minutes or so, 40, trying to do the best you can. At which point, again, the everything begins to fade and go white again. And you begin to hear that kind of familiar sound now that you heard as you begin to get pulled back into that white place. And as though the light begins to dim, you find yourself back in that chamber once again. Again, you are all there. You look over and Verlaine is there. She's huffing and she's puffing and she's leaning over on her knees. She looks up at you all. Oh, thank your God. And she throws up. Oh, God, that was... And she kind of just crashes down to the ground and sits on her ass, exhausted. That was brutal.
Did you make it?
Yes, we made it as far as their scouts we're looking down upon one of the largest herds of elk I've ever seen in my life. They blackened the side of the encampment. And
We
then
didn't make
everything
it.
went white and I was back here.
No, we missed elk meat.
Well, we didn't make it. I wonder if that means that only you passed it, or does it matter?
Wasn't it a group thing? Wasn't Elaine saying before this that, the more people, the whatever?
The texts are unclear, and I've specifically consulted Professor Skint about that, and he does not know either. We'll just have to hope that that is indeed the case.
Oh, Mickey, is it 2 levels of exhaustion?
You have one. I don't know. Wait, did you fail the second one? Did you fail 2?
You,
Yes.
I rolled it- yeah.
Yes, you have 2 levels of exhaustion. You, Kaz, and Filbert. Thea, you have none. You voluntarily nerfed yourself.
Couldn't have just left the little one hanging behind.
She was with the rest of us.
Yeah, well,
You could have.
you were all like,
You're all together.
you were not fine.
No, we weren't. I'm tired.
I was fine.
Perhaps just a moment to catch our breath before we move on to the next trial.
How long have we been on this island? It feels like forever.
Well, several hours. And then we slept for 8. First trial was 3 hours. And this was 3 hours. So, somewhere between 16 and 17 hours, I believe.
No,
I guess we gotta keep moving then, because if each trial is taking 3 hours, we don't have a lot of time left.
no, we don't. Thea, to the next one.
Into a corner?
So we've done
Okay, so hold on a
endurance,
second. And then went to a-
isolation. What's left?
Thea said, hold on a moment, and she went to a corner and popped a squat.
That trial beat the shit out of her. Does anybody need a bio break? Is this a good place? Since
Sarah's already taking one, so.
all right, 5 minutes, guys.
Sounds good.
All right, Micah.
I'm good.
Good.
Put this in power supply so I don't lose it again. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Nothing.
Okay.
We're back. You singing a Backstreet Boys song?
No.
Oh. David back?
Yeah, I'm here.
this door then.
Yep. Do the next trial. I said what? Counterclockwise or whatever. So I can't see what you can see.
I don't know. Wherever you carry me, Thea. Oops.
You're too heavy. You got to get off, girl.
No, just 5 more minutes.
Half speed.
Is it? That wasn't it, right? This wasn't. Okay.
All right, we all set?
Yep.
What does this one say?
Kaz, as you push open the door, again, a now familiar shaped antechamber. I'll let everyone re-roll their intelligence check.
I probably roll like a 3. So it doesn't.
18.
Disadvantage for the exhausted ones.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it's not an it's an ability check, yeah, so it is at disadvantage for those of you who have
I
it.
can roll again and see if I get a 1.
Yeah, it's all right. You don't have to re-roll. And Thea, you did not have a disadvantage. Yeah, you didn't get exhaustion. You just nerfed yourself. So, it dawns upon it. What's that?
I said I got an 18.
No, you did. And with a moment of clarity, as you look at the shape for the third time, and having seen them above your head, you realize that these are the spokes on the icicle, or the snowflake rather, that appears above your head when you're within the trials. That this entire chamber is actually shaped in a giant snowflake, and that these
that had dawned on me, but the thought slipped away as soon as I had thought it until just now.
and if you'd like to share that or not,
So does the symbol above our head of the snowflake like do its legs or whatever glow a different color with the ones we've completed?
it does not. And while you're here in this chamber, there are no snowflakes above your head.
So this chamber is shaped like a snowflake.
There's no.
That's great. Tell me something that matters.
Snowflakes are all unique to themselves. There's not a single snowflake in the world that's the same.
All right, I'm tired. Let's get this over with.
Another time that might have been interesting.
What's this? What's it say above this door?
Your mom.
The easiest trial of them all. Anyway.
I mean, I'm not disputing it.
So does it say anything above the door?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. As you walk in, this says cruelty.
Oh, jeez. Cruelty.
Guessing we're gonna have a hard choice to make.
What does that mean?
Well, for some of us.
Means don't be mean.
Well, it means that's like it's being cruel or mean or too tired to think right now. Let's just get this over with.
Okay, if a
Is that John or Kaz talking there? I can't tell.
That's both. Mostly I'm actually enjoying myself, but that's Kaz mostly. It's like I am exhausted. We need to get this over with. I just open the door and walk through. I am completely fed up with this place right now. Kaz is completely fed up with this place right now. I am completely fed up with roll 20. I haven't rolled higher than an 8 the entire night.
I'm scared to roll real dice just in case I roll worse.
Right?
Through the door!
Yep.
Yeah, Thea. I mean,
Onward with Ender's lanterns.
please don't sing anymore. You're busting my eardrums.
All right. So, moving forward. You step into the bright light once again, the now familiar sensation of being nowhere all at once. Your surroundings vanish in a flurry of snow and ice. And as your vision clears, you find yourself standing at the edge of a camp. It's tense, holding fast against a raging blizzard.
Oh, great, more snow.
Oh, hang on. Let me set this up. Come on, roll 20. Don't be that way. Who am I missing? Okay, sorry about that. All right, you find yourself in a kind of a similar, almost not familiar. It's not the exact same camp, but it is another nomad camp. Kaz, you looking around as a Goliath, and hearing the stories or whatnot, you see telltale signs, tents that are covered with the front of which is a bear skin. You see bear-shaped totems here and there.
You're breaking up a little bit, Mike. Mick.
We were doing so well too. You're seeing like bear skins being used in the tents. You see a head of a bear, the skull as a totem set into the edge of the perimeter as a marking point. So you're fairly confident that this is the bear tribe of the Red Guard nomads. As you guys kind of come into what's the word I'm looking for? As you manifest, as you I'm just seeing it like they're seeing it as like the Star Trek transporter, you know, you guys just materializing there. Two Red Guard nomad guards kind of jump a little bit and immediately level their spears at you. Halt! You'll come no further. State your business.
Hi.
We're-
on trial. We just want to get this over with. What's this one about? What are you guys doing?
Clem, look, above their heads. It is her mark. Their emissaries. We will take you before the chieftain. Give us your word that you are not here to hurt the tribe, and we will escort you. Let him decide what to do.
Bird.
On my honor as a priestess of Lathander, I can
Right,
swear
yeah,
to
we're
you that
fine.
we mean you no harm.
I won't hurt anybody that doesn't try to hurt me.
I like you. And I hug him.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
Who, Cass?
No, Winzira, who says that she likes him and then tries to hug him. Okay.
20.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I've never met a nicer goblin. Thank you. He kind of pats you on the head. And then he kind of sniffs at you a little bit and then kind of pries you off of his leg. Please, come with me. This is for Gunvid will want to know that you're here. He'll have words for you. Clearly, this is a sign. She has sent you for a good reason. And they kind of escort you down this way into the center of the camp.
See me on the map. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm all the way up here. There I am. For some reason, I'm massive.
And they escort you down, and you see a very large man with blue kind of lines on the sides of his face, on both sides, some kind of wald. And he wears on his head kind of, it's a bear skull, bear head, if you will, almost like a helmet with a bear pelt draped along his back. To his side is a much older nomad, very gray beard with bits of bone has been worked into it. And as the wind blows it around, you can hear the bones in his beard clinking together. He has a staff that the top of which is kind of been woven with cord that's kind of brownish black, and in it are vertebrae, kind of in a kind of a fanning out, the larger at the top and diminishing down, and bits of rattle that as he comes in, he starts as he sees the snowflakes over your head, and he rattles his staff at you, and he says, you see, Gunvald, the Frostmaiden sends witnesses to bear witness to your act. You have made the right choice. She blesses your decision for the good of the tribe. And the large man, he kind of slowly turns to you, and you see behind him as he kind of moves slightly to look at you, that behind him, lined up on their knees in front of the bonfire, are some of the oldest nomads you've ever seen. 4 of them on their knees, their hands bound behind their backs. And they look kind of terrified. The one is a woman, and she's openly weeping, as is one of the oldest, probably the oldest man. The others just look grim and resigned. The chieftain looks at you and he goes, so, is it true? Does Arl send you to bear witness? To tell me that this is the right thing to do? Good.
What are you doing?
I am securing the survival of our tribe. We starve. There's no elk, there's no game of any kind to be had for weeks. And the people must eat. So the weak and the old shall serve us one last time. Clearly,
Do I feel the same whisper of non-Lathander as I did in the last place?
Nope.
Okay.
So
you're going to sacrifice these people so that your tribe can have more to eat. But what happens tomorrow?
we eat them.
Oh no.
Sounds legit.
And clearly, Arrow agrees and has sent you to be the knife.
No.
Like, what kinds of stories might I have heard about this tribe?
Roll history. You know of the Bear tribe. It's one of the 4 main tribes of the Redguard. Right? They are all always constantly at war with the other 3. They raid each other and whatnot. They are known to be very fierce warriors.
Okay.
But have you specifically heard of them being cannibals? No.
Do the bones that are in his beard look to be like humanoid?
Roll nature.
I'm really good at that one. Yeah, like look at that. I have yet to roll higher than 8.
They could be, but you don't necessarily think so. You can't tell one way or the other.
Okay.
I mean, wouldn't you want to go with the fattest and not the oldest? I mean, old people do kind of get useless after a while. But if you want food, wouldn't you go with the fattest?
These elders have served as much as they can. We need all of the strong to survive if we're going to make it through this test of a never-ending night. Only the strong shall survive, and these are the weakest. So, and he pulls out a kind of a bone-handled dagger that's almost a short sword. It's so big. And he flips it around,
Wait.
handle to you, and he goes, "So, do the deed. Finish them off so this tribe may survive. Or go and stop stalling and stop wasting our time. This must happen, and this must happen now."
I grab my obsidian charm of bounty. And I say, eating each other is not the way. Haven't you a priest among you who can do something like this? Here, I give of you plenty of food and water.
Okay, and what happens?
Well, I do create food and water.
Okay, but do you want to describe it, or do you want me to come up with it? I mean, you're casting the spell, so if you want to tell me what...
It can't be. I mean, I suppose it can look like elk and stuff, you know, but it tastes like nothing, right? Like,
It's bland.
yeah,
Bland but nourishing.
but very nourishing. It's enough to sustain 50 or 5 steeds. Land but nourishing. The water is clean and doesn't go bad.
Okay. So as your charm begins to glow, there begins to be this kind of swirling motes of light emanate out from it, and it separates into two pieces, two sections. One begins to coalesce as bits of raw meat, as you say, stacked on the ground, quite a bit of it. The other begins to form into a sphere of water that, as it snaps into being, falls to the ground, soaks the snow there, and begins to immediately, with the cold and the blizzard, begin to freeze into a sheet of ice. The older one with the bones in his beard begins to shrill. "No! No! This is not what Errol would want!"
I step up and grab the dagger.
"You must kill them! God of... As the Frostmaiden says, let cruelty be the knife that keeps your enemies at bay! Kill them! They are to drain on the tribe."
All right. Look at the rest of the group and say, for the greater good. And I start walking towards the first one in the line.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, hold on. Let me move down there so I can put it on.
Or the other end of the line?
That one, yeah, the closest one to me there. So that guy there.
This guy? Okay. As you approach, he's one of the ones with that resigned look on his face. He just kind of closes his eyes and he lifts his chin.
Gilbert, you don't have to do this.
What is your solution for not doing it?
Cruelty is not the way to salvation.
Okay, so your solution for not doing it?
I just made food and water for them, even though I wasn't prepared for the water. There's enough for here to not sacrifice people. I could train someone, and then they could also speak to their god and also create food for the tribe.
We don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. I look over at the tribe leader and see what his reaction is to her explaining that.
He's looking at the shaman as she's saying all that, and the shaman is just shaking his head no, like from side to side, and he's kind of getting his brow is furrowing, and he's getting angrier by every word she says. And when she mentions that their god can make food and water for them, that kind of infuriates him. Verlaine, watching all this, looks at Euthea and she says, "Darling, I understand, but this is a trial of cruelty. One we must pass if we're going to end this night."
Blade goes in the throat.
All right. He doesn't even cry out. You just hear this kind of like sigh as then he kind of crumples to the ground.
They will be absolutely distracted by Verlaine and then be like,
You know, I think old people are tough.
They're accepting their fate. Twin Zero, you want in on this?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the only one that has to do this, unless.
Verlaine steps forward and says, "No, you should not have to burden this all yourself, Master Halfling. I will lend a hand as well."
I mean, if everyone's squeamish, I can do it myself, too. We used to do this at the tribe all the time.
I spin the blade around and hold the hilt out to Verlaine.
She does it quickly, cleanly. Steps up behind the next in line and puts her hand over the person's eyes, the old man's eyes, and slits his throat through his beard, and lowers him gently down to the ground. She steps back and hands the knife towards you, Winzira.
All right, I go up to the next person from behind, and I'm like, "Your sacrifice will feed this tribe, you know, and end your suffering."
The shaman kind of rattles his staff, and he says, "Arrows will be done."
Actually, now that I think of it, I think that this might be a ritual of mercy. I would like to take the next.
Are you,
Really?
Like, what?
I'm rolling an insight. Verlaine is rolling
Yeah,
an insight check on you.
I would like to as well, even though.
Yeah, I am going to as well, although I'm probably going to roll a 2.
So what is that? What do I need to roll?
Well, it's up to you. It's deception.
Deceiving.
Yeah. So Kaz just rolled a crit. Verlaine rolled a crit.
Kaz, you have to roll at disadvantage. And
Yeah.
Oh, is that an ability check?
Yep.
Okay, so let me roll again.
Hang on, I gotta grab my dog.
Still got a 16.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 on performance.
Was it performance? Is it deception?
Oh.
It's either deception or what was the other
It's
one?
the same skill. I'm definitely deceiving.
Literally, everyone went at what?
So do we all see through your deception then?
But does the shaman and the main guy? I mean, I rolled pretty terrible, so
Let's see.
She rolled a 3, basically. Oh,
They do not.
somebody-
Well, the shaman looks at you askew, and he squints his eyes, not quite believing that you had changed your mind so quickly. But noting the snowflake above your head,
Well, I'm going to step up and grab Thea by the shoulder and be like, "Don't taint yourself," and step in front of her and head over.
I had a plan.
You stay true to yourself.
And I will. And since I was right, so wait, that's the guy, right? Who's that?
that's the shaman.
Okay, that's what I thought. Where am I? Can't see myself anywhere. There.
Because you didn't move yourself, you're still up here.
Where?
I don't even
Up
see it.
left.
Oh,
you're
jeez.
on the top.
Yeah, that would be why. I wouldn't be there. So I would have been here because I created food. So
Yeah.
I had stepped up to the next guy.
No, he's dead.
No, it's the girl. It's the last girl.
Oh, the girl. Okay.
The furthest from him.
All right.
But
Why
when
is
Zira
Icewind
still has the
alive?
knife,
And the shot. Who's that?
a guard with a spear, they're all around. All the tribesmen are all armed with spears all around you.
That's the thing. Is like I grab her by the shoulder. And I'm like, don't.
You know, it's all right, Thea. We got this.
Whatever you're planning, don't taint yourself in case it goes wrong. I will take the burden so that you don't have to.
You know what? I'm perfectly capable, guys, of just ending it right here. Neither of you got to do it.
Fine, you can do it then.
All right. I just, your sacrifice won't be in vain. You will feed your tribe.
I
Wow.
kind of like walk Thea away, not and have her not looking. Turned around, back towards it.
Okay. With that, the last of them fall. Some of the non-warrior looking men and women of the tribe, some older, some very young, kind of rush forward and begin to carry away the bodies. They bring them off into a side tent out of the way, and you don't see them any further.
I know it wasn't easy for you to watch.
But as you see, we have not completed the trial.
Oops. Damn it. He looks, Gunvald looks at you. each in turn. You are strange representatives of the Frostmaiden, to be sure. But I thank you. You have done the tribe a service, one that will ensure that we survive the cruelty of this long night, for which you have my thanks. And as he says that, everything starts to turn whitish again. The familiar fading of things all around you. And you find yourself in that limbo place briefly, and then back within the chamber as the doors close with a finality.
That was rough. I don't feel good about that one.
Yeah. I wanted to just kill them all.
That would have definitely solved their problem.
Well, it would have removed the problem.
Oh, that's yeah.
I believe that none of us.
So Thea, instead of Mercy killing 4 people, you wanted to slaughter an entire tribe?
Wouldn't it have been more cruel to take away their crazy shaman and their crazy tribal leader?
I mean, I
May
don't
have
think
been,
they
but-
were crazy at all. Have you
That may
like?
have not even been real anyway. Who knows what the hell we're actually doing here?
Have you never actually like lived in a tribe in the wild?
No, I'm from 10 Towns.
No, then you probably shouldn't judge people based on your belief system. You know?
Damn.
I've heard of them, but
You mean the right belief system of justice and good and light and,
And
community
what
and
about-
family?
What about their sense of justice, truth, and community, and their family?
Painted with the Frostmaiden, it couldn't possibly be good.
But that's your perspective.
It is the only perspective.
Oh,
The
wow.
light gets rid of
Alright.
any shadows.
Well, that just makes you a big meanie.
I suppose.
You do know that the sun is eclipsed by the moon, though, don't you?
I mean that's something that my last character would have said. All right,
What? One more.
Let's get this over with. I just walk straight over to the other door and open it up, walk through.
What's the next one? I can't read. Somebody read it to me.
Completely done with this place.
Yeah.
He is both physically and emotionally exhausted now.
Almost like that was the intention.
Right?
Okay, I'm still just physically tired.
I can't go in.
Hang on, I'm working on it. It's being weird.
So what's this door say?
Above the final door. Hang on, Lily. Is written the word preservation.
Hmm.
What does this one mean?
It says preservation. To preserve something is to keep it safe.
Or put salt on it.
Keeps it safe from rot.
Spoilage.
Ooh.
Protect, keep safe.
Oh, and Thea, could you always make meat like that? Like all the time?
Apparently,
You wouldn't like it. It doesn't taste very good.
I mean, it looks
she did
bloody and
it
great.
once before, and
And you were very disappointed.
she did do it
Um.
once before, and Filbert put some of that bay old stuff on it, I don't know.
Old Bay.
I seem to remember something about that Bay old stuff.
I don't remember. I have a very short term, memory thing, whatever.
Actually, no, that was a different character. I wouldn't have remembered that. All right, I'm just gonna open up and walk through. Just push it open forcefully, like fuck this place.
What stupid shit you want me to do now, Oriel?
I mean, the last one was the easiest, and no one was trying to kill me there. So, no.
Yeah, it tastes like impossible meat.
Okay.
Impossible tastes good.
Okay, then it doesn't taste like impossible meat. Tastes like tofu.
Impossible meat tastes very much like meat.
Yeah. It does.
It's very strange.
The familiar
stuff that tastes like meat.
white background, white portal opens for you as the door opens, and you step through. Your surroundings once again vanish in a flurry of snow and ice, and as your vision clears, you find yourselves on the edge of a camp under clear skies. All the fires in this camp are out, and the only sound that you hear is the flapping of tents as the wind hits them. Closer examination, as you look around, reveals dozens of corpses half buried in snowdrifts. It becomes clear that a massacre took place here recently. You hear squawking of buzzards coming from the middle of the camp and see a half a dozen vultures picking at two bodies outside one of the larger tents. Let me change the map.
I wonder if Ford Hill raided this camp and killed them all.
Who?
The first
Ford Hill from the first one.
one.
As Kaz, as you begin to move forward, the sound of your armor and the crunch of the snow, one of the vultures immediately swivels its head, and it sees you and is aware of you. It begins to flap its wings and squawk as the others search for what has agitated their companion. And then upon seeing you, they begin to focus on all of you. And at that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
I will look at it and go, bah!
Disadvantage, exhausted people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Don't do it yet.
Oh, shit.
All right. They all add yours. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Disadvantage.
Why didn't it roll disadvantage?
I clicked it. Look, see, it's selected.
Yeah, mine neither.
I'll just roll again. All right, there we
13
go.
for me.
7.7 for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I
we go.
clicked
It,
disadvantage, and it didn't roll at disadvantage.
but it took the second roll, though.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because once again, when I roll advantage, I don't roll a higher than a 1 or a 2 apparently ever. So you guys always get to go first. Thea 19.14. Oops. Oh, we got, what's her name? Oh, you know who's not on here? Hang on.
You took the zombie instead of Elaine.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay. That's anticlimactic when the NPC goes first. Oh, I gotta do something first. Hang on. Let's see what she does. Okay. Filbert and Winzira, roll perception.
Hey.
You both notice her kind of almost kind of like zone out, just kind of being like not even all that interested in what is you guys are seeing and happening, and these giant birds starting to come at you. And then you see her kind of shake it off, and then before she starts, and then moves into action. But you definitely noticed a moment of hesitation there, where she was just kind of like indifferent to what was going on. All right, what the fuck is she gonna do now? Okay, that's what she's gonna do.
Damn. I didn't even see these vultures.
Yeah, I've got massive. Oh, well.
Okay. So you see her kind of moving her hands, and as she does so, this kind of putrid green energy kind of snakes out at one of the vultures, and as it hits at it, it kind of smears and oozes around it, and you see it all kind of just sink into this vulture. Then kind of like shivers a little bit as it takes the damage and feels rather disgusting. I mean, are you kidding me? Did I really roll 2 1s on the damage?
Sure did.
Fuck me. All right. But it shakes off the effects of being poisoned. And then she's going to kind of move. To there. Okay. Your turn there.
Okay. Well, I can't see these vultures at all. So.
Yeah, you can't?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I can only see the light from my light.
I can see him.
Oh yeah.
They're
You
beyond
can,
the
you
light.
can't see him at all. I'm
Almost
sorry. Yeah, now I didn't see the. I have
They're
2
way-
different spheres on the map that.
Yeah, they're way down there. So
Yeah, I can just barely see them.
These bitches can fly, so no. Duration on this. What's the duration on this? I'm gonna cast that.
Okay. And how does it manifest?
Looking like Apollo. Like a
All right.
chariot of sun and fire.
Like a romance novel cover. Is there, picture her god like Fabio in a loincloth of fire?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All
Looking
right.
like, 1940s,
Yeah, so you guys see this kind of glowing energy manifestation that takes the form of this muscular loincloth made of fire guy who looks like he's smeared in oil. His hair's long and almost blowing in like a kind of wispy summery breeze with this kind of tan skin that you can tell, even though he's glowing in of energy, you can tell his skin is tanned. And it takes up position where?
I'm gonna put him here to it's within what, 10 feet? Yeah, so 3 feet. So 10, 15, 20. I'm just gonna put him like here at the edge of my vision. To kind of keep a guard out. Because I know there's something out there. Everybody's like, "Ugh," but I can't see it.
Just gonna use that.
No, a little bit further down. Like here.
You should be able to move him now.
Oh, okay. Like there. Warhammer looking motherfucker. And that will be my turn.
Okay. Win 0.
Okay, so first I'm gonna go my 15, and then I'm gonna bonus action dash, and then I'm gonna take the dodge action because I can't see anything.
Okay. Filbert.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll move and dash. And then I'll hold my action to shoot something threatening when I see it.
Okay. Kaz.
I will bonus action go. Bonus action use my heal rune so that piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning is halved. And then I will move the 15 feet that I can move. And 15. 15. And I hold my action to attack if one of them comes within range.
Okay. Right. All of the giant vultures begin to squawk and leap up into the air to take flight. They all start to move up.
Walk back.
Um,
Walk back. I'm like, wah! Mockingly.
I'm just setting up their heights real quick. So this one. Oh, come on, man. Sorry, it didn't take the first time. I don't know why. All right. So this one begins to fly. It's about, this one is 15 feet in the air and it moves in a direct line. To there. This one can go 40. So Filbert, you can take your pick when they come into view. They are above you. Some are 15 feet, some are 20 feet above. These two have to make saving throws as they come into proximity of your guardian. What's the DC?
Oh, yeah, it's 15.
Okay.
And it's a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Fail. And definitely fail.
All right, so
What's the damage?
they take 20 radiant on a failed. So
Okay.
20 radiant damage.
All right. So as they go through, they kind of almost like electric, like, you know, this light streaks out of your guardian and engulfs them, and you can see them kind of flailing and struggling even to keep their altitude as they both take a lot of damage. And their flight is now very erratic, and they're struggling even just to keep in the air. Filbert, which one did you shoot at? Light them up for me.
It would probably be. Hold on. This one right here.
Okay. Your arrow punches through it and literally rips a hole through one side and blasts out the back of it. It just plummets like a sandbag cut from its up its line.
It would just be just a force damage, no sneak attack.
Oh, okay, that's true. All right, so it actually takes that blow. It doesn't punch through it, but it starts to be bleeding all out. It's bleeding heavily, but it's not dead.
Good.
I'm relying too much on the fucking roll 20. All right, that brings up our girl Verlaine. Now, the one that's near her, behind her, there is 20 feet up. The other is 15, and the one that Filbert shot is at 20. So keep that in mind, guys. There's height involved, okay? She pulls out her wand of magic missiles, and she's going to fire off 2 at this one and 1 at the far one, seeing that they had already been hurt in an effort to try to finish them off. And those automatically hit, yeah? So,
Yeah.
as she does so, the first blast and it screams out and begins to lose altitude as the second one slams into it. As it falls to the ground and crashes in. The second likewise takes a blast from a magic missile. And you guys can all even hear the crunch as its entire side caves in and it falls to the ground dead. And then she runs her ass off 1, 2, 3, 4, and realizes that there's more over there and goes, I like this guy, and slides up cozy right next to him. All right, Thea.
Great minds think alike.
I'm gonna yell out to everybody to come hide behind my guardian. He'll keep you safe.
Did you hear a voice in your head from your god to tell everybody that?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I did. It's like divine inspiration. Most of the time I tell him to fuck off.
But since this is the porn version of your god, you felt inspired to hear his voice and obey like a good little sub.
Maybe.
Hey, it's a Switch's prerogative.
Yep. He'll keep you safe and draw the fire.
All right, that's a free interaction. To say that.
Yeah, I know. Does he put off light?
He doesn't illuminate anything. He glows enough that you can see him, but he does not shed light. He's more spectral than he is a glowing entity.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm gonna move a little bit over here. I still can't see anybody else, but I know that he took care of those dudes. So I'm. Would you think that having him move would be my action? Can he move?
Doesn't say that he can't.
Hovers for the duration.
Yeah.
In an unoccupied space.
It's where you put him, he stays.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just hang out here. any targets right now, though. No. What? They weren't in my sight. Where? Oh. Oh.
And you're still
Okay.
within 10 feet of him.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll move there. Back there. Sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm going to create a spiritual weapon that is a sun, but it's got like the happy face like a sun that like little kids would draw, but instead of like regular rays of sunshine, it's like spinning blades of searing doom. Like, you know, when the sun gets mad in Mario Brothers. And it's like, happy, happy sun. Yeah. And I'm gonna attack that guy.
All right, so you can do it anywhere within what, 60 feet?
60 feet.
Okay, so that guy right there is 20 feet up. So you could still, yes, you could do that, right? Because that's easily, yes, easily. But just know that that ball is 20 feet above, up in the air.
Yeah.
All right.
So he takes
No, he doesn't, because you
9.
rolled an 8 to hit.
Oh.
So you miss.
Okay. He takes
Nothing.
nothing.
All right. You still have a bonus action, right? Because there's that a bonus action to cast.
It's a bonus action to cast.
So you still have an action. You can cast a cantrip. Don't you have spiritual fire?
Sacred flame.
Sacred flame, I mean.
Yeah. All right.
Spiritual
Sure.
fire, sacred flame. Come on. Potato, potato.
How far up is this guy?
Which one? That guy is 20 feet.
So I should be able to get him.
Yeah, what's the range?
60.
Yep, easily.
So yeah, so DC 15, Dex 6 damage if not.
Fails?
On a minute.
So he takes 6 damage.
Rolled so poorly. I just went all pew 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 Lathander on this round.
And is that where you're going to end your turn? You still have a little movement left.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like right there. I want to be by my dude.
All right, you're standing on top of what used to be a campfire, but it is all burned out and out, so you're able to do so. And you're cozied up to one of his muscular, well-oiled legs. All right, Winzira. You're seeing all kinds of crazy shit going down now, man. You got the giant, muscular humanoid glowing. You got a small sun with blades instead of and you seeing her throw bolts of blazing sunlight at people.
And I also told them all to come over here.
Man, Dad's really getting into her spiel here.
She's feeling her. She's got her mojo going now, man. There's a half-naked godlike creature here.
So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna take out the laser pistol and shoot. Attempt to shoot something.
Okay. Which one? That one too?
Yeah, why not?
Holy moly.
That was a lot of stuff.
So, what is the Which is the one you're not at disadvantage, right? You're
No, that just it's an 11 to hit.
Yep, that hits. So you pull out this thing. At first, you've got it facing the wrong way and about to pull the trigger with the barrel pointing at you, and you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's not right." And you turn it around, and you kind of waving it all around, and shaking it, and then you finally remember that it's got the trigger that you got to pull, and as you do, you hear this kind of, and it releases this bolt of light that streaks through the air and burns right through its wing. And it staggers midair, and it starts to really struggle to even keep altitude. However, it's still hanging on, still fighting through the pain to stay aloft.
I'm so sorry. You know, I just bet you taste delicious and all, and my bad. I just wanted to try my new toy that I forgot about for forever sessions.
Gilbert, you're lucky she didn't pull it on you.
I really wish
You
I'd
would've missed.
remembered. And then, done with it. Oh wait, can I use Fury of the Small? I keep forgetting I have that.
Yeah.
So
I don't see any reason. It doesn't have to be a melee attack. It can be a ranged attack.
a creature and is size larger than yours.
And it definitely is.
It takes what level are we at? 5, 7. It takes 7 points of damage.
So as this thing is kind of burned through, and actually the flame seems to can stay lit into its wings, and the flame spreads and even more. And suddenly there's not enough surface area for this thing to stay aloft, and it kind of cocks, and as it falls to 20 feet, it crashes into the ground, and you hear a sickening snap as its neck gets broken from the impact of the fall, and it's dead.
I'm so sorry. I was just taking my anger out on you. I really just wanted to do it to Filbert, but you know, he hurts really hard. Hits really hard and it hurts, so you know, I don't want to anger him either.
I don't believe
All right.
you. I think you just want to eat it.
So as you hear that, Filbert,
True.
it spurs you into action.
Right, so Winzira is 10 feet away from me. I guess I'll leave her alone. 5, 10, 15. Because Thea did say to gather around her Fabio guy, right?
Yes, she did.
This one's the closest, so I'll take a shot at this fella over here.
Okay. That hits.
14, and that'll be 12 points of damage.
Okay. A solid hit, and it squawks. It's not happy about it at all. All right.
And,
You got a bonus action.
yeah, I will bonus action dash 5, 10, 15 to over here.
Okay.
That's
Kaz,
my turn.
I'm not saying that you feel somewhat envious. Actually, this guy's too big. I just realized he is not. He's giant. He's large. He's that big. There you So you're not like, you're like, yeah, I wanted to.
Bonus action. Wait. Not gonna get big. I will hold my action to attack. Well, actually, no, I won't. I won't hold my action to attack. I will attack with my crossbow.
All right. So, are you dropping your? You're gonna drop your axe and pull out your crossbow. How does that work?
I guess. I mean, it's. I'll just. I don't know. Like.
Because you get one interaction. That's either to put it away or to draw something. You can't do both because you need your bonus action to load the crossbow. Unless you have the crossbow feet.
No. All right. Well.
It's no big deal because you can use your you can use your bonus action to pick it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to bog it down. Just what? Yeah. Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it right now.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, because I'm just trying not to burn my reaction.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't. That wouldn't have used a reaction anyway. Don't worry about it. Let's just move it along. That's a silly mechanic that really doesn't. It won't really play into this.
Oh, did I roll it?
21 hits for 4 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. You strike it in what would be a lovely thigh. When Zero, you notice that he's skewered one of the juiciest parts of the vulture.
Good hit. Tenderize it.
You should put Old Bay on your bolts before you shoot things. That's some preservation.
So it swoops down at you to fight, and as it does so, it comes within range of the spectral warrior, and that energy streaks out from it, envelops it. And when Zero, you get a sniff of burnt feather and seared foul flesh. It makes your mouth water. This one comes down though and tries to attack you, which it can do without entering the 10-foot range.
Well,
Yeah,
would
it doesn't
be
matter
gone.
though, because with that, the spectral warrior, or the guardian rather, but he did pass through.
No, he didn't. There's no. It does not affect him. He's 10 feet away from that. He gets away from your flaming sphere. It's not a flaming sphere. It's a spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing
Sorry.
that. Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about the Guardian of Faith. I thought you said the one guy got attacked by the Guardian of Faith.
It didn't. It's dead.
Okay, so with that, the Guardian of Faith fizzles out. That's what I was trying to say.
Why?
It only does 60 total points of damage.
It's done 20, 20, and 10. That's 50.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought he
That's
did 20
okay.
again.
No. He failed to save. Oh, he failed to save. You're right. But does it? But since they had less hit points, no, I guess you're right. It would fizzle out. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's up to you. You're the DM, so.
No, because it doesn't say that it. Yeah, it wouldn't do less. No, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just overkill.
Yeah.
All right, Windsor. It swoops down though now, so that it's only 5 feet in the air. So it does this kind of dive bomb, kind of run at you.
It has to get really low.
And it tries to rake at you with its talons. 13 misses though.
Barely.
And then it does an attack. It actually lands on the ground and pecks at you with its beak. And that hits for crit.
I am, and then my eyes flare with blue light, and
Okay.
he has to re-roll using my runic shield.
Okie dokie.
Wait, that's not the right one. That's this one.
Crits again.
Nope, misses.
And I used my reaction to do that. That's why I didn't want to use up my reaction. Because with my
all
new
good.
ability, I need to save my reaction.
Very cool. Very cool. This one comes down, lands next to its dead companion. Or first, before it lands, it does its talon attack on you from the air, Kaz. 22 hit.
Yeah.
You take 9 points of slashing. And then it land. You don't?
Oh, it's halved because of my rune that I did. I said I did the hill rune the first round.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Does 10 rounds of half
Yeah.
damage.
So you take 5 points of damage. And then it strikes at you with its beak. I believe the 14 misses, though, right?
Yes, it does miss.
Yep, it misses with its beak attack.
Kings off his armor.
Verlaine is actually going to step forward and try to vampiric touch it. Which it does. Oh, wait, that's a 3rd level spell? Wait, hang on a second. She would not burn a 3rd level spell. I thought that was a 1st level spell. She'll Ray of Sickness it again. Sorry, guys. Should have thought about that beforehand.
Nope. Cap.
Definitely hits. I wish I could roll as well as Verlaine does.
Same.
So actually, she doesn't need to move. She would stay away from it as much as she could. It does 9 points right off the bat. And then it's got to roll a con save. Yeah, con save. Fuck. And it succeeds, so it's not poisoned. Okay, Thea. Mop it up.
I shall try. All right, so I can move this fucker. 20 feet.
Oh, I thought. So,
How far is this guy in the air?
oh, he's on the ground now. I think.
He's on the ground now.
Or 5 feet, one of the two. I can't remember.
Mickey.
No, they're both on the ground.
Okay. 5, 10. All right. All right, so I got 20 to hit with 8 force damage.
Back to sleep. 20 hits for 8. Which one was it? That one, right? Yeah. Okay. So the blades of the spinning sun slice into it, and feathers and blood fly everywhere. It's lucky that it's on the ground because that wing does not look like it actually would function any longer. But it's now hopping around. You guys seen enough turkey vultures down there. You know what it looks like. All right, so that's your bonus action. You still have an action and movement.
Oh. Did I still have a bonus action?
Oh, you
That
used
was
your
bonus.
bonus action to attack with spiritual weapon.
Okay. I don't know what I want to do. Honestly, like every basic. Sacred Flame is a cantrip, which is it's an action. All right, fine. I'll cast Sacred Flame on the same dude.
Okay.
So.
Fails. And
Radiant.
your sacred flame sears it. Once again, Winzira, that mouth-watering smell of burnt feather and seared rancid flesh fills your nostrils, and you salivate. Okay, are you moving? Or are you staying put?
I'm gonna move like in front of the small ones.
Okay. Winzira. One left.
I'm not gonna be able to eat any of these. I'm so sad. No. Let's try hitting it with the laser pistol. Or not.
No, that one, you're kind of waving it around a bit too much, and you kind of jerk the trigger back as hard as you can, thinking that will make it even stronger. In doing so, you kind of pull the nozzle up, and the shot goes well over its head.
There, you got in my way.
Which would have been interesting if you rolled 1. We would have had to talk about what happened then.
The ass cannot be contained.
It is known.
Shoot wildly.
It is known,
Yeah.
Khaleesi. Bonus action and movement.
I'm just gonna bonus action. Try and take a bite of the vulture right here.
Okay. We'll come back to that. All right, Filbert.
I'm gonna duck behind Villain. Bonus action, hide. That's a skill check. 18.
Okay.
Assuming I'm hidden.
You
Vulture
are.
Guy.
You are.
Uh, 24 to hit for 19 points of damage.
And where do you strike it, and how does it die?
just blow a big hole through one of the wings. That one's still up in the air, or was it on? The
No, it
ground?
was on the ground. So
Okay.
wings are kind of just. It does that kind of
thin
balance
neck,
thing.
So why don't we just blast it right through the neck and decapitate it?
Yeah, exactly. It actually blows through so hard that while it doesn't completely sever the head from it, there's only a little bit of meat on one side of the neck that's still there, and it kind of dangles and flops down and slams into its chest as the thing collapses to the ground. Windsor, you're a little disappointed. You kind of like to chew on the neck best of all, and Filbert just blasted it away. All right, as the glass falls down, and at first all you can hear is the heavy breathing of your companions in the aftermath of a fight as the adrenaline begins to dissipate. However,
I pick up my axe and put away my thing.
and as Taz is picking up his axe and putting it on his back, you begin to hear what sounds like low, heart-wrenching sobs coming from further inside the camp, perhaps in one of the tents. Softly, but distinctly. And that's where we'll leave it for next week, kids. Hopefully, Rebecca, you don't get called into election hell next week, but we'll see.
It's a good thing, because normally school elections are on Tuesdays, but this one was moved to the 6th. So I'm working like Thursday. But for the moment, fingers crossed, the 11th looks okay.
Okay, cool.
But I will keep you posted.
Awesome.
It's great to see you guys. Have fun.
Yeah, thanks,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.